Hello, my name is Ivan, and I'll be going through the static analysis for the malicious document first. So first off, um, our group prepared this folder called the maliciousdoc.zip. Inside the I'm just viewing it inside the zip folder first. When we extract it, we'll get this document, which I have extracted it on my external drive over here. Then afterwards, I put it in VirusTotal, which I done so already, and it will scan for whether or not this is a malware with the 60 scanners. For this case, the 60 scanners, it can vary for other programs. So there is 35 out of 60 of the scanners that was used that deemed it as malicious. As you can see here, 35 security vendors and 2 sandboxes flagged this file as malicious. What it flagged it as is a Trojan, a Trojan horse, and a variant of VBA. Okay, so next is under details tab. What we found interesting was that McAfee did not detect it. So next was the details. Details, we can see the MD5 hash value over here, and other properties such as the file type, which is a Microsoft Word document, and it is verified here, being 80% being it of old or new version. Then the history and names here is basically what other users have searched for, and is similar to this file. Then let's move on to relation steps. This is what the malware was connected to or related to. So such as like domain, IP, and the dropped files. So domains, nothing suspicious there except for this one, which is turnimnews.run.club. One of the scanner detected it as malicious, but the registrar was GoDaddy. Registrar being the SSL company. So next is the IP addresses. IP addresses, none of it was deemed malicious except for this IP, which 2 scanners deemed it as malicious. Next was the dropped files. The dropped files, we can see that the file final file.bin that was dropped was deemed as malicious by 42 scanners out of 62, and this is just basically the graph summary. Next is the behavior. The behavior is what the malware was trying to do when we enable the macro content. Later we'll be seeing that. For DNS resolutions, we can see that it's a Chinese news run.club, and this is the IP address. We can see over here as well. So these two are malicious, and this IP belongs to Chinese new run.club. And afterwards, this is just the IP traffic, which is connecting to this domain via port 1912 on a TCP connection. And then the file system actions is just dropping a file, just dropping this file. And then the registry actions is basically just what it sets and what it deletes. None of that is very, very important, none of which is damaging towards the system. Okay, so next would be the shell command, which is what the malware has tried to inject, which seems to be executing a Word executable, which is launching Microsoft Word, and then it terminates the following processes, and then this is just the process tree. Okay, so that's VirusTotal. I'll be moving on to the basic static analysis first. We want to confirm the hash value, so let's open up win MD5, and then rename this document to doc instead of docx. Later further explained in the advanced in the basic dynamic analysis video. Sorry. Yep. and we drag the file over, so we will get the hash value. This hash value here, SL6FF, we can see that it's similar to the one in VirusTotal, SL6FF. Okay, then afterwards, next would be the bin tags. So let me drag this file over. So bin tags will see the strings of the malware. It creates like XML files, and then it uses Microsoft Word, Office Word. And then what's interesting is that there is hidden window. If we continue scrolling down, there is a level of impersonation here. And right here is the attribute VB name, which seems to be the Visual Basic code name. This document 1. Then afterwards, if you continue scrolling down, we can see it here again. User form 1. Continue changing, scrolling down again. Here we can see that it's using a DLL from Microsoft Office. Over here we can see an exe file, which presumably being created, and then here we get to see the VB code again, which is this document, user form 1, and presumably user form 2 is a VB code. Later on we will double confirm. So here we can see this is the host based indicators. OLB, DLLs is using Microsoft libraries. Then here we can see that this directory has a file called msforms.exe, presumably created as well. Afterwards, there is some sort of say binary data. If we keep moving on, we can see that there is a split function, splitting the content within user form 1, which is the 4 text boxes. Then afterwards is saving binary data to the user form 1 from what it changed in the 4 text boxes. And then inside user form 2, there is creation of object and then a moving of file. What's interesting was that there is a hidden window that get the object and start the object, and then change text box 5 and spawn an instance. Then it shows a window, and it afterwards save, create, overwrite, basically meaning saving over user form 2. So we can see that save to file text box 1, 2, 4, and 7 were changed. And as we keep scrolling down, here we have the dimensions of user form 1. Then we can see here another host-based indicator that is using Microsoft Word. Then again, impersonation level. Presumably it's trying to impersonate a root user, as you can see, /root. Then as we keep scrolling down, this is the details of user form 2, the dimensions of user form 2. Here we see the VB code again. And yeah, that's about it. Basically the rest here would be a repetition of what we have just analyzed earlier. So that is for bin tags. And then PE view, let's close this and window this. Now PE view is usually used for portable executables and dynamic link libraries. Used for portable executables. So, but we will try it out with the Word document. So we will just pull it over here. As you can see, there's no headers or sections because this is not a portable executable. if we continue scrolling down, we can see that there is just what seems to be bunch of characters from A to Z. Then afterwards, continue scrolling down, change overwrite. Yep. Okay, I'll fast forward here. Here we can see just a bunch of byte data that you can see in the bin text that was byte arrays. This is the reference to the byte array. So in the malware, there's some sort of byte array being saved. Then if we scroll all the way down, we can see again Visual Basic over here. So we know this document user form 1, user form 2 is a Visual Basic code. And afterwards it's using a Microsoft Word document over here, and yeah, that is again dimensions all can be seen in bin text. So yeah, this is for PE view. Next would be the PE ID to check whether if the malware was packed, but this is usually for portable executables, but we'll try it anyways. We drag it over. As you can see, it's not a valid portable executable file, so therefore nothing was showed here. Then next would be the dependency walker. Let's drag it over. Dependency walker is usually used for dynamic link libraries. When we drag this over, it was again say it's not a valid not valid module here. Okay, so nothing was shown, so there's no import or export. Take note, there's no import or export. So now let's go on to the advanced static analysis, which is using IDA Pro. Click new, cancel window, drag this over, press OK, and yes, and okay, go to the binary file. I will make this bigger. Ignore the creation of files over there. It will be deleted once IDA Pro. Ignore these files because this will be deleted once IDA Pro is closed. So here in IDA view we got nothing much. It's just a bunch of byte array again. The byte array again. In the hex view, there's again, this is like the PE view, where we just now saw the value of the malicious document. To confirm that, we can see Microsoft Word here, then VBE, this document user form 1, user form 2, and then if we scroll up, we should be able to see the byte arrays. So next was export imports names and functions. We can see that there is nothing in here because this is not a portable executable or a dynamic link library, so there's nothing to import or export. Then afterwards is the string windows. This is like the bin text. To confirm that, we'll just scroll to a section as such, MS Word. Then we'll scroll to here, impersonate level. So this can confirm that it is the strings are somewhat similar to bin text as well. And yeah, since this is not a portable executable or a dynamic link library, unfortunately most of the tools in the static analysis did not work, but we managed to find out the what the malware would create, what it used, the dynamic link libraries used, and the actions it was trying to take. So that's all for this static analysis. Onto advanced onto dynamic analysis.